Ruffle Feathers TV, we got one today. Okay, now this woman, it's like, I've been seeing more and more of this happening. I don't know the answer why. Like, look at this, right? The shift America needs. So good. I'm not even going to explain it. Just watch it, all right?
When I first announced my run for Congress, I had this random white woman, liberal, walk up to me and ask, well, what about you isn't Democrat? To which I responded, well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat? And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot, so when I first started, I would say things like, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative. But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore conservative, and I'm proud of it. I mean, my favorite saying is I was born black, not Democrat. But in all seriousness, whenever I began to think for myself politically, the choice was easy. I mean, why would I want to belong to a party whose mission is to infringe on the Second Amendment as if a criminal would ever participate in something like a mandatory buyback? Why would I want to belong to and endorse a godless party? Because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing as a trans child. We have confused children and sick enabling adults. Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood. Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration and how they have always prioritized that over the black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was, how it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act, how Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesburgh Commission, and how to this day they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically what Mrs. King spoke of in 1991 with her letter to Congress. Now, look, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I saw with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, I'm going to have Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if it is a whisper. When I first announced...
Okay, so she went to one of these town halls, right? She went to one of these town halls where they give you a certain amount of time. And was that 3 minutes? I mean, damn, 3 minutes. Yeah, let me see. That was 3 minutes. Yeah. And that's why she said that whisper, she timed it off a little bit. But that's going to go down that's for one of them public speech. Like, she did her thing. Now, what I'm noticing is a lot of black folks are waking up. Like, waking up. And I say because we have been asleep. Like, we don't know. We think we dreaming. He said a dream, right? Martin Luther King. But it's been a nightmare, hasn't it? Like, it just, overall for us black folk, like, that's crazy when she was talking about, because I always say the party, right? You got to separate the man versus the party. A lot of y'all don't like Donald Trump, and that's why y'all don't want to vote for him, even though it's the right thing at the time to do. Like, your hate for the person made you forget all your traditional values, everything you stood for, what we are, what we supposed to be. You know, like you threw like just natural common sense out the window. You have. Like, in 2016, I was listening to one of my old songs, and I literally was like, if Trump wins, then I'm leaving the country. I was rapping, like I said, 8 years later, and wow, it's crazy how much I've researched myself, I had to unlearn everything that I thought I knew and relearned it, and nothing made sense. 1 + 1 no longer equal 2. And I'm like, this is the type, like, this is gonna be like a dude if you're a dude trying to get married, bro, go get you one of them that's thinking like this, because she already understands and what she needs to provide for you. Like, she the type that already know how to make you, like, I'm telling you, these type of women who think like this, dog, these gonna be they always be having men. They always have husbands that, like, I'm telling you, y'all. But it's the ones that's thinking that anybody can be anything. If anybody could be anything, then, you know, we'd all be, you know what I mean? Like, come on. But if you look in nature, if you look how, I mean, even from the weather, like, this world is perfect. This world is perfect. The sun and each of them has a role. That's what I'm saying. The sun can't be the moon. Moon can't be the sun. No. You feel what I'm saying? Now, you can believe how you believe and you can be treated with respect and all that. But you can't make somebody who don't think the way you think. You can't make them think that way just because it makes you feel bad. Like, no. Feelings got to be hurt sometimes. Truth has to be said regardless of whether it hurts or not. And no matter how it's received, or it don't matter. If somebody told you, yo, the sky is blue, and then somebody's like, the sky is blue. Like, it's not, I'm going to listen to the softer one because he said it nice. Like, no, both for the truth. I'm just going, and that was a dumb example, but you get what I'm saying. We got to stop thinking. So, getting into this mode where we think we got to please everybody's feelings, and we don't have to. We can offend everybody. Forget it. If it's the truth, offend them. Who cares? Who cares? But she said a lot of truth, and I'm just trying to think about what she was talking about, man. It's just some people saying praise to God. This what a woman of God looks like. That's what I'm getting from her. Knowing like who she is and taking pride in it, not saying, oh, I can be that. I can be y'all shouldn't make like the feminism viewpoints like are just toxic. They are just leading. I'd say women they started off right, but it just didn't evolve into that. This is something else we dealing with. And this mindset that I feel like women have adapted, it just don't make to everything, every bone in my body. When I see it, I be like, that's not right. That shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? Like I be seeing, cause I grew up in a household full of women, cousins, women, just so much women. So I see it and I understand. I'm like, hold on. Well, thinking like that ain't going, cause I'm also around my boys and I know what they like and it's just they got us going like this and y'all don't even know it. And y'all just keep, for the life of me, saying, keep voting Democrat. Like, you're not even allowed to vote for nobody else. You're not even allowed to slightly remotely be at a family function and be like, you know what? I think I'm going to vote Republican. You what? You know what I mean?
You what?
I'm telling you. That's what they say. Like, no. And it's frightening that you can't even think that, because I was the one who was always raising my hand. I was a Y kid. If you ever something I just didn't agree with, something that I needed more explanation, I never just went with the flow. I always would ask, well, why is that? Like, well, you said well, why not go that way? Why wouldn't we go that way? And they're like, because they say we got to do it like, well, I'm like, well, try to do like, if you don't have a good enough reason to not to tell me go the other way, I'm going to be the one to tell you. And that's why I find shortcuts. I'm a troubleshooter. I figure out ways to make the job easier. No matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing, I've always developed a way to make whatever I'm doing easier. And it's not that I'm always looking for the shortcut. I'm looking for the more efficient way. Why are you doing it this way? Have you ever thought about doing it this way? It's more efficient, takes less time, and it's way more organized. It's no reason to say no. Everywhere I go, implement better ideas. Why are you doing it this way? Do it that way. This will be way better. But yeah, so I guess all I'm saying all this just to say, unlearn, relearn. You got to stop thinking. Well, you actually got to stop letting people tell you how to think, and you must think for yourself. Yes. That's what I'm trying to say. You must think for yourself. That's the only way to ensure you're making the best decision. You can't always trust what everybody. I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your cousin, your girl, you got to think for yourself. You got to think for yourself, because if you're wrong, you'll learn your lesson, and pain is the best teacher, right? So don't be scared of it. Run into that. If it's a problem, if it's something, if it's a lesson that need to be learned, I pray that you learn it. But for the most of the time, I don't think you can go wrong by thinking, asking the questions, thinking for yourself, doing the research. Because if it don't make sense, why do you believe it? Just because somebody told you so. Question everything. That's what I'm gonna leave y'all with. Question everything, man. And where we at? Ruffle Feathers TV, man. Like, follow, subscribe. Love y'all.